Bitcoin is pumping, meme coins are jumping, and banks are a dumping. Question everything, trust nothing. Welcome to Debate Crypto. It's your boy, Crypto Keeper, here on another episode of TA Thursday. I have missed y'all. I've been gone for, over a week now. Crusader and I was out of town, and then Crusader and I had a couple things going on the first couple days of the week. So welcome back, everybody. Glad that you are here. We've got two of the best in the game today. It's been a little while since he's been on. Let's welcome Evan Aldo. Evan, how are you doing this afternoon, brother?
Doing awesome. Thanks so much for having me. Always great to be on. Always love to talk about crypto.
Glad that you are here. And the fun, the myth, the legend, Crypto Face. Face, what's up?
Yo, can you hear me okay?
Yo, I can hear you. You are
I can't see anything in the back end here. I think my stuff's been a little screwy. But actually, let me leave and rejoin.
Oh, it won't let you do it at that point.
All right, don't worry about it.
You can't see anything? Like you're going to be able to pull a chart?
I mean, I'll be able to pull up a chart. I'll just have to watch Evans and stuff through through YouTube. So
all right,
hopefully,
all right.
I don't know.
Yeah, it'll kick out. If you have problems, we'll figure it out. Crypto fam, hopefully everybody's doing well. Make sure to smash the like today, as always, and follow Evan, follow Crypto Face, do your thing there. Let me say hi in the chat real quick. Met a few people at the Austin conference, so shout out to Crypto Billy and shout out to BioMX if you guys are here today.
Were they cool?
Yeah, dude, super chill, and I'm looking.
Did they follow you around everywhere?
No, we had lunch and just kind of hung out a little bit. Saw them at a couple of the clubs. It was super chill, and they're going to be one of the two of them is going to be at our event, which is the end of next week. So if you're part of the DCA fam, we have got our prepper event. That's next weekend. That's coming up quick. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Really looking forward to that. So we got Justin Eubanks, Green Day Prophets, Kenton Smith, John Connor coming from Ireland. Who else we got up in the house? Unforgettable name as always, Kenton. What's going on? Hopefully everybody's doing well. I'm not going to run through all the names here, but glad that you all are here. Let's take a look at the markets. Let's start there, and then we'll dive into the fun stuff. So we have the global crypto market cap at 1.18 trillion with a T dollars. That's up 0.43%. Bitcoin, 28,827. That's up about 1.5%, but down on the week. But we did get a little bit of positive action. We're going to talk about that today, so stick around from the Fed meeting yesterday. Ethereum's been sitting pretty chill, 1874, almost flat, down about 0.5%. Rolling on through the top 10, not a lot of movement. We got XRP up 0.35%. Dogecoin up 0.25%, which I thought was interesting. With some of the other memes pumping, the question becomes, is Dogecoin stepping out of being a meme coin, considering a meme coin? Let me ask you guys to start off. Are we not considering Dogecoin a meme coin anymore? Because the meme market has been rocking. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Do you guys still consider Dogecoin a meme?
I mean, I do 100%. I mean, it looks terrible on the charts based on kind of what I look at, but
yeah,
obviously, and it's one of the few inflationary ones too. So I'm not a fan of Doge. In terms of Pepe, the one everybody's tweeting about, I've seen it happen with Doge. I've seen it happen with Shiba. Usually, I mean, sometimes kind of what we saw today, it's still pumping up a little bit. But once everybody's talking about it, once everybody's tweeting about it, usually an excellent time to get out. Now, you're probably not going to sell at the exact top, but we know there's a 99.9% chance that this is going to be lower than it is now in 6 months.
Yeah. Face, what about you? You think Dogecoin's going to be is Elon actually going to use Dogecoin at some point? Do you think he's actually going to follow through with that?
I don't know if I really agree with my boy.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Aldo over there. I got to tell you, it'll pump. I mean, we're in a kind of a bear market. I mean, if any shit token is going up, I think that's a pretty good sign. And listen, I have zero Pepe. I didn't get it on Pepe. And I've made money off Shiba before and stuff. And they will go back up. Name me a shit coin that hasn't gone down the bear market, because everything goes down the bear market.
Yeah.
And
sure.
as you know, who cares about 6 months from now? That's not what shit coins are about. It's what can you make for me today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
We ain't talking those 6 months.
No doubt.
We're not fucking retired.
Yeah, they're never the long-term game. I learned in this last run when the meme coin just was meme coin mania. I learned a couple hard lessons by getting in, doing exactly what Evan said, jumping in, and I knew better, but jumping into something that at that point it was out there, that it was rocking and rolling, and I got my ass handed to me, and I learned a couple little hard lessons on that. You're right. When they CryptoFace, you're right about them. Hey, everything's going down, and then they will pump back up. This is still crypto. We are still rolling dice at the tables, whether anyone wants to admit it or not. There's a lot of crypto that is still just straight up gambling, right? And the meme coin.
Yeah, what I like about a meme coin is it is what it says it is. It's not hiding anything, compared to God, what was that? What was that coin that I always it wasn't Algo. Was it AMP?
Yeah.
AMP. Let me pull it up. Was that the one that I killed?
That's the one you always used to talk about.
Okay. Yeah. Now, that AMP was a coin where there's some music, we're doing music and but at the end of the day, they had no financial backing. It's probably two guys in their garage. There's it's fake.
Yeah.
And it's not a meme coin. This is what it is. It's a hype coin. It's a Ponzi basically.
Yeah.
And it's
the greater
lukewarm,
fool theory,
therefore
right?
I vomit thee. Lukewarm, therefore I vomit thee out of my mouth.
We're getting biblical. We are getting biblical today on Debate Crypto. Smash that like if you are here to hear some information of biblical proportions. We appreciate everybody for being here. All right, let's dive into it. Actually, side note, just a little fun aside. Yesterday, I got a crazy day going on, running my other businesses, doing things, getting ready to run the stream. People were wondering, what happened yesterday? Why do you not stream? Well, let me tell you. I was eating a chicken sandwich, bit into the chicken sandwich, and all of a sudden I felt something incredibly hard in my mouth. And I said, holy shit, that's a tooth.
It was a cock. Talk about a cock has a chicken.
Yeah, exactly. Got it. And that was a good one. That was a nice little pun there. I like that. And I said in my mind very quickly, please don't be a front tooth. I've always had teeth problems, right? And I start feeling around in my mouth, and I'll be damned, it wasn't a freaking front tooth. So all of you that are going to meet me next week, don't make fun of my discolored temporary crown. It's only temporary, okay? I had to do an emergency dental appointment yesterday. Literally, the crown just fell off at the gum. Oh, my God. $2,200 later. That was exciting. So fun stuff there. All right, cool. Let's dive into it. Let's get into Bitcoin. Let's kick it off with that. Gentlemen, I'm going to ask both of you this. Tell me, a lot of times in markets, and especially in TA, people look at things differently. I'll start off with you, Evan. Give me the skinny. What do you think of Bitcoin over the past week? And what are you looking as we kind of approach the end of this week and leading into next week? Give me kind of your thoughts, and if you got your charts, you can pull it up.
Let's see. So I got my charts shared. I think you should be able to. Yeah, perfect. Cool. And so the main thing, let me just show you like the main area we're in to kind of start off. We're in this, very similar area to where we were back in. Let me just get these away for a little bit so you can see better. Split RSIs, and then as we kind of came down here, we went into that, more of the bear area down, and then eventually formed kind of a double bottom. It seems likely even if we don't make a lower low, we would come down to correct until kind of the end of the year, potentially as you go into a recession, those type of things. And if we go on some of the lower time frames here, first thing I want to show you is we had a reverse head and shoulders. Your technical target we kind of already hit. If you just let me do it really quickly, kind of at around the 30 to 31K area, we hit that. Now we have a new normal head and shoulders, more bearish version that we're getting, along with a few things on market cipher here, such as money flow coming out, a trigger wave confirmed on the 2-day, like the weekly I said, also overall pretty bearish. your technical target for this head and shoulders is going to be down here at 24.4. However,
Ooh.
we do have some big points that are important to try to keep, especially if I go real quick here, 200 weekly moving average, which is going to be a really big place right here at about 25.9, which is also a huge place if you turn your spiral lines. That pocket is huge. If we can hold that, that's really important. But obviously, when
What's that number again?
25, 9, 26, the pockets between 26 and 25.7. If we can
So
hold
short
that
term, you're looking for a dump.
potentially into
Yep.
sell and may walk away, that type of thing. That's what
Okay.
I'm looking at for the main short term. Also
Okay.
got a trigger wave about to print on the 8-hour. Overall, little bit more, bearish in my view. The other thing I want to show you just real quick that I've been keeping an eye on, this is the regional bank ETF. It's hitting a pretty big area over here. I think once this gets a little bit more like confidence, it starts to recover a bit, whether it's where we are right now, we're hitting a big area, or whether it's down here, $28 potentially at the pandemic lows. That's when you're going to have a little bit more confidence in banks, and people may take some more profits on Bitcoin from then into the end of the year. Obviously, if this keeps going down, goes below like pandemic lows, we're in some serious trouble, and Bitcoin may still.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about banking. I'm going to pull that up in a minute, but that's interesting that you bring that up. We have got so much chaos going on in the banking industry right now. I think that's definitely something to keep an eye on. So I like that, Evan. Face, do you concur with Mr. Aldo's analysis there, or are you kind of thinking a little bit different? I know he's using Market Cipher, so I don't know how what you're thinking.
Yeah. Let me try to pull
the
up
chart and look at a
my
different screen
stuff
and
here.
figure out if you can.
Okay, share
I'll tell you if you can see it.
screen. Okay, close that, open that. Yippee-yay.
There we go.
All right. Are we good?
Yep, we're good.
Yeah, word. Okay. So, I've been preaching the same thing for a while now, which is really just on the weekly and how it's basically an exact copy of 2019's, February, March, May, April, May. Sell in May, walk away. I'm still leaning towards it. I know we've had, a little bit of price action to the upside. Can't really get past that 30,500. Keep getting cracked pretty good. Kind of what I'm looking for, waiting on, when we have our split RSIs right here, these are two different RSIs. If you're not familiar with Market Cipher, the green and purple line, at first they're gapped apart, the move comes up, it's nice. And then they start to get closer together as the price dumps. And right now we're hella gapped apart right here. I'm looking for price to kind of consolidate sideways and down and dump down. Where it could go, it doesn't necessarily have to retouch the bottom again. I don't think it has to. It can.
Yeah.
It probably will, but or even lower. I just think that these RSIs got to get closer. It's too early for us to just go straight up into new stuff. Although, man, it's true, when these banks get crunched, gold starts to perform well, although that can't break its resistance either yet. And we'll see if it actually pushes Bitcoin as well. But yeah, right now I'm waiting on an actual, so just same thing what happened here. Money flow came up, it took one more little dip, and then the rocket up here, right? So we have our first one, looking for one more little dip, and then we'll see. So I'm still in the sell in May, walk away camp, I think.
Okay. There's a lot of people talking about the sell in May and walk away, and it's obviously been a thing in the stock market for a long time. I'll be interested to see.
I came up with it.
Yeah, you invented it. That's good. I didn't realize that. So all hail Crypto Face. I ultimately am wondering though. You've heard people talk about the Bitcoin. We've never seen Bitcoin truly in a recession. We've been up and to the right since 2008, 2009, moving upward. Now, depending on who you talk to, we're in a recession, or we'll change the definition and we're not in a recession. I guess just depends on who you ask. But ultimately, I believe that we are in a recession. On top of that, we have the banking crisis happening at the same exact time. How is Bitcoin going to respond? But before we get into that, I want to come back to you, Face. I always ask you about commodities because you pay close attention to the commodities game. There has been a ton, obviously, like as I was just speaking on worldwide financially. One of them, you just alluded to it, but has been a new all-time high for gold, if I'm not mistaken. So tell me, why do you think gold is doing so well? And as you look at the charts for gold, is there anything that's either making you more bullish or bearish in the short to medium term?
Yeah, let me pull up gold here, and I'm gonna bring something else up as well.
Cool.
Let me adjust this here. Yeah, gold on the weekly. As far as an ultimate, it did, yeah, to 280 to 2083. I've been calling for the only way, I've been saying this for probably 3, maybe even 4 years now. The only way gold would ever break its $2,000 shackle is for a major banking crisis. I've been saying it for years. Both of you have been heard me saying it for years. Finally it's starting to happen.
Yep.
Maybe, these banks are cracking, and there's too much fake stuff going on that's kind of stopping gold from getting up here or from breaking up. But it's we'll see. As far as commodities go, yes, gold, but in my opinion, it's commodities are the best. Commodities are better than cash. Owning sugar is better than owning cash. Things that are transacted on a day-to-day basis is in my opinion, the best way to have it for the best thing you can safe haven your money at. I mean, this is just a sugar ETF. This is cane, CANE. On the
Not
weekly.
to be mistaken with cocaine, another commodity.
Although that's also transacted on a daily basis. For 3 years, it's gone up 155% sugar, right?
Yeah.
If you pull up beans, coffee beans, it's the same thing. So I feel safer. I made a very, very large acquisition of sugar, bean ETFs, because to me, it's way better than cash. The value of the dollar going down, beans, gas, things that are used every day are that price is what is most effective. Those are the prices that are most affected by bullshit that goes on. So there's another good one's SGG. I talked about these last time. Same thing. That's up 200% in 3 years. Beans. Let's just type in bean, peekaboo beans. Is that the one I'm thinking of? No, it's not.
You said peekaboo beans?
No, I was looking at that's what was here was peekaboo beans, but soybean. These aren't the ones. These aren't the right correct things, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Coffee. Is it coffee? Let me see here. Coffee cash contract. There you go. This looks a little better here. Just go from the bottom there. Boom. 4 years, it's up 150%, even got up to even higher. So compare that to look at the Dixie, and let's see what turns out. I could be totally wrong about everything. Fuck, I was wrong about everything. 13% for the Dixie in 3 years. Yep. So what's better, a 30% return, which is now 13%, gone up 30% in 3 years, or 200%, 100%. So you're better off owning beans instead of cash for the past 3 years, pretty much for all of eternity. There you go.
Yeah, and you know what? I love that too. With the Danger Close Alpha crew, we bring prepping and crypto and NFTs all together. We talk a lot about ammo, firearms, cattle, sugar, like all of the things that you are referring to right now. It's not only that you could put it in an ETF and make money with it as a store of value, which, by the way, you're the only person I hear talk about that, Face, and I know you've done really well over the years. I think it's an incredibly simple idea that's really smart. So kudos to you for that. But ultimately, you can use these things as well. Obviously, there is a lot of use case for having a whole bunch of beans and rice and other food and water and ammo. And, there's so many things that are used on a daily basis that can actually be utilized if something happens. And we're in a crazy time in the world right now. So I see the value. I think people are starting to wake up and realize that, oh my gosh, not only can I make money with this, but I might have to maybe possibly barter a little bit with this at some point.
As
Hopefully we
long
run
as
into
you
that,
don't
though.
enter a futures contract that you let expire with a bunch of coffee beans, because then you're going to have a couple dump trucks show up to your house and dump a bunch of coffee beans in front of your house. Then you're pretty much fucked. So
Yeah.
don't do that.
But you have enough
know,
coffee for the neighborhood, and they'll love you for it because you got to offload it somehow. But for sure, I would concur with that statement for sure. So, excuse me. The banks are struggling. I alluded to that earlier. I'm going to pull up this article right quick, and we were just talking about gold, but Bitcoin, obviously. Bitcoin rises as latest teetering U.S. bank sends traders to crypto haven. And I want to get your opinion on this. I'm going to read a couple parts of this. The banking crisis doesn't appear to be over yet. As PacWest, if any of you didn't hear about this, this is big news. PacWest Bank Corp dives more than 50%, 50, ladies and gentlemen, in after-hours action on Wednesday, following the report that the lender is mulling a range of strategic options. The news on PacWest comes days after First Republic Bank was taken over by the FDIC and JP Morgan. In a Monday morning call following the takeover, Jamie Dimon said, "I think the banking system is very stable. This part of the crisis is over." Now, I kind of want to get your guys' input on this, but this has been the central bank's 10th consecutive rate hike, and Jerome Powell says the banking system is sound and resilient. So I want to know from you two, are we calling BS here? Because I have a hard time believing that they actually look at the banking system that is, I'm not saying the whole system is collapsing, but people are fleeing to Bitcoin in a lot of, in a lot of different manners, are fleeing away from currency, from the US dollar. We have other countries fleeing away from the US dollar. And we have Jerome Powell, the head of the Fed, saying, "Oh no, everything's good." And then you have Jamie Dimon, who, hey, coincidentally, so the Fed prints the money, right? They loan it to these banks. And coincidentally, we got the head of the Fed saying everything's okay. And we got Jamie Dimon, who is the CEO of, obviously, from JP Morgan Chase, saying everything's okay. Are we calling BS, gentlemen? Evan, let me start with you. Is this BS, or are they serious? They really think this?
So, what I will say is, like, it's partially BS, but at the same time, it's dangerous, I would say, to kind of, what I think is, it's dangerous to think that all the banks are going to go down and think that Bitcoin's just going to, skyrocket and keep going up. But at the same time, it's dangerous not to have any Bitcoin to kind of be hedged for that, that area. And what I want to show you here in the charts is a few things. Let me go back to my the banking chart first. So obviously, it's similar to what we saw. We saw this with Meta. We saw this with Netflix, with Nvidia. We came down a lot. There's no guarantee here. We came down a lot. I do think some people will start to kind of buy this up. The regional banks, this is the regional bank ETF, buy this up at some point, whether it's here or whether it's more down here. I think we could really call BS and really call like a nightmare. This is where things are really falling apart if this like goes kind of below 26, below this area. Because at that point, once you're going below like pandemic lows, then you're like an even worse like fear than the pandemic, which is just a complete nightmare there. What I'm looking for in this chart to potentially give me a little bit more confidence that we might be headed back up is kind of the next green dot on the weekly. Obviously, this weekly bullish div didn't work out. We just got the yellow X and came down farther, but you're hitting such a big point here that the next one potentially, and this isn't even confirmed, this confirms in a day. So theoretically tomorrow, if we see a big jump up, which we might, based on my experience, when everybody's talking about how much the bank stocks are crashing, when everybody's talking about how much something has crashed, usually you get somewhat of at least a dead cat bounce. Maybe this comes up and maybe we're kind of okay. Also, want to go back to the Dixie a little bit.
Hold on. Let me ask you, Evan. Let me stop you just real quick. Just because the charts are showing you something, this is like we could toss a meme coin in there. Just because it's pumping doesn't mean it's still a piece of crap and it doesn't do anything, right? So, are you really suggesting that you believe that just because the charts look okay or have the opportunity for a bounce, that everything's okay? Because I don't agree with that.
Look, man, I'm in America. I got to root for that. I got to take the
positive. Of course, I'm rooting for our country. Come on.
I got to take the positive view on this, man. What I will say is it's dangerous not to hedge against it, and dangerous not to have any Bitcoin. At the same time, dangerous to have too much. But yeah, you're 100% right, man. You're 100%. We're not in the best of times, but I'm taking the more optimistic kind of route a little bit. The last thing I'll show you here. is we're about to get this blood diamond on the weekly is worrisome, definitely worrisome. The Dixie definitely has a lot of trouble here. If we do go into a recession, people kind of flee more to money markets a little bit more. The banks do tend to recover a little bit. You do see potentially this bullish div printing and playing out well in the weekly to potentially bring us up a little bit higher if we do go into a recession. At the same time, when you do go into a recession, not to say that it's risky to go into like cattle or any of those commodities right now, but what I will say historically in recessions, the ones that do the best are gold and silver. Cattle, I'm a little bit concerned about, not to disagree with Crypto Face here at all, but I just think it's a safer bet to go into gold and silver right now because we do have the double top. We do have the double top back from 2015. If we do go into recession, commodities typically do go lower. So that's my concern. Again, take it as a grain of salt. I don't know. If things there's definitely a case to be made that this is all BS. All the banks are going down. We're all in that complete nightmare,
Right,
chaos. But yeah, I'm taking a little bit more of the, typical recession, more optimistic route here.
All right. So Face, let me throw a little bit of a twist on that. So first of all, I do want to know what your opinion is. Do you think the banking system is okay? And one of the things that you and I have been notorious for going back and forth about has been CBDCs, because you just have a totally different stance on it than I do. Somebody put this comment up. I'm going to pull it up. Said it's a consolidation of power. All the small regional banks will be killed, absorbed by the big three, mainly JP Morgan, and it will make rolling out the CBDC way easier. I agree with this comment 1,000,000%. I know I'm the doomsday guy that's telling you that the CBDC is going to be the end of the world and all of these things. I'm not actually saying that, but it's going to cause a lot of problems. Okay, so is the banking system okay? And Face, at the same time, do you think that this is that consolidation a purposeful consolidation basically from the impacts of what we've had going on with the Fed and everything else going on financially? Do you think that that's actually happening, the consolidation of all of these different banks getting absorbed?
So I'd like to address kind of the first question/comment, which is, boo-hoo, Jamie Dimon and fucking Jerome are saying, the banking sector is okay. I want everyone to take a step back for a second and stare at the wall, pretend it's a mirror, and ask yourself, if you were Jamie Dimon or Jerome Powell, what would you say? Because if Jamie Dimon said the banking system is a little fucking scary right now, what do you guys think would happen?
Markets are gonna dump.
It would fast forward and be way more painful than it probably should be. So, what do you want them to say? Yeah. Of course, they're going to say everything is good. That's what we actually, it's actually, you want them to lie.
That's a really good point. I never even thought of that. You probably do. You're probably right. Yeah.
Okay. So I know I'm right. Now, I'm not saying that everything's great. Obviously, everything sucks. We have a lot more pain ahead. But if Jamie Dimon came out and said, I think we're in some trouble, specifically the banking system, it's over.
It would be cataclysmic. You're right. You're absolutely right.
That's they thought people would run in the street about aliens, which no one gives a shit. There ain't nobody running the streets and breaking shit because of aliens. If Jamie Dimon said that he thinks the banking industry is in trouble, the main banks, there's going to be running in the streets. It's going to be fucking kamikaze, kiss our country ass goodbye more than it already is. So I want to bring that up. Yeah. You should be glad that at least he has the wherewithal to say, I ain't saying that shit. Yeah. If it's true or not.
Right.
As far as the CBDC, they can already do everything that everyone says they can do with the CBDC with your money right now. Yes, they can. It's digital.
No.
It's digital. If you ain't paying your child support, what happens to your checking account?
Well, I don't know. I've never done that, but I'm going to guess they could probably shut it down.
Okay.
You know what a smart contract can do, Crypto Face? It's if then. They can apply anything to that. They can apply the number of miles from your house you're allowed to spend money, attach carbon credits to it, and if you flow
they don't do that with EBT? They don't already issue a food stamp card.
But we're talking about
the technology. It's pretty simple.
But we're talking about they can fine tune each and every little piece of your financial world, and it's on the blockchain on top of that to take away every single little piece of privacy. I can still go out and buy stuff without the government knowing that I bought it.
With cash, yeah. But if you use a credit or a debit card, no.
Yeah, it's there for sure. For sure.
So I think it's the same. But I'm not, going to say I'm a CBDC doubter because they obviously are, there's proof that like they're trying to make the CBDC shit.
There's a reason for it. Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know. They want to, just another way for them. If they know people are going to be using crypto and they can make crypto too to use that, they're going to be in that game.
Yeah.
So
you think you think it's more of a financially driven decision that they say, hey, we can financially benefit from this, then you think it's a power move?
I don't know. I think it's probably both.
Okay.
Like they already have there's powers that be, and we're already heading into a direction of a bigger state, a bigger government. Like,
oh yeah,
there's already people that have been pushing for us to be tracked, every dollar. Our freedoms have already been getting taken away. Yeah. So I'm not going to sit here and say any CBDC, PP, LGBT plus token is not going to, there ain't going to be some type of motive to make shit worse.
Yeah.
So yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, for sure.
My main point was, what do you expect Jerome Powell and Jamie Dimon to say? You should want them to say it's be like, okay, what if they said shit wasn't good? Then it's over. We're putting on the fast track to pain, probably worse pain than we need to feel. So
that is a very insightful comment. I will give you that.
Thank you, buddy.
Because ultimately you're right. You're right. Even though we know that they're lying to us, I agree with you, because if they did come out and just flat out say the truth, it is going to cause chaos. It's like the president coming out and making a statement saying that, everything's politically okay between us and China and Russia, versus coming out and saying, well, I've got the nuke codes ready because things are looking a little shaky. So yeah, I agree with you on that. That's a really smart.
They should fucking say. That's why no one messed with Trump.
I was about to say that's why no one messed with Trump. That's right, because he did say that. Right? He was always ready. Hey, let me take a brief pause here. Everybody, make sure to smash that like. We got about 175 people in here. Thank you all for being here. We're here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mondays, we focus more on altcoin-centric TA. Thursdays, we focus more on broader market, Bitcoin, commodities, etc. So thank you all for being here. We definitely like to give a little bit different spin on some of the conversations that we have. So make sure you follow Evan, make sure you follow CryptoFace. They've got some good stuff going on their channels as always as well. All right. That being said, let me shift gears just a little bit here. Not a lot, but I want to talk about as it relates to Bitcoin. We see everything that's happening. Everybody has these fictional, to me, they're not fictional. That's a bad way to put it. I feel like there's a lot of weight placed on big even numbers. So let me go to 30K. Evan, is 30K the number because it's 30K and that's the barrier we need to breach? Or is there something on the charts that says around that number is what we need to breach and hold as a support?
So the main thing of 30K, I mean, the psychological aspect of it is the bottom was 15.5K. What's double of that? 30K. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people that probably bought at the bottom of 15.5K that are sitting on bags that are 100% in profit. Yep. Even if they're long-term believers in Bitcoin, it's likely they would take at least some profits at that area, unless things get catastrophic and hyperinflation end of the US dollar, we go into a crazy bull run all of a sudden. My view is that we're not there quite yet. The dollar becoming, the nations are losing world reserve currency status. That could take another 10 years potentially. That could take time. So I don't think we're there quite yet. I think you could even go, obviously technicals aren't 100% right, but let me show you kind of my chart here. Why, 30, if you just look historically, let's just look historically. 30K is just a huge barrier right around here. You came a low a little bit in 2021, huge place. you were able to maintain that and go higher. Here, it was at least a little bit of a fight. I think you reclaimed 30 or tested it, then rejected from it. The same thing is, happening right now. And that's what I'm looking at potentially. You also have, I mean, if you look at the spider lines here on logarithmic, let me zoom in. The double spider lines typically are pretty big points. Double spider line right there that we're losing. If we could come above 30K and hold that for a good amount right here, hold this area, that's pretty big. So that's what I'm looking at right there. Also, just traditional TA. I mean, look at the reverse head and shoulders that we had. Let me just do, sometimes you don't even need to do anything too complicated. If you broke the neckline, see the technical target, we hit that exactly.
Yeah.
Now, if it plays out the same way, obviously TA isn't always 100%, plays out the same way. Now it's time to potentially come down a bit. Also, the last thing, like I was talking about on the weekly, those split RSIs with the red dots. If it's like this, I think if we come up a little bit higher, see how split RSIs red dot, you came up a little bit higher. If you come up a little bit higher, the next big place is going to be this area right around 35. And I think if we do come up that high, I mean, from the bottom, let's just see that here, 130% up, unless things get really crazy, I think you would tend to correct there. At that point, you'd probably only come down to 25 or 20. I don't think you would ever probably come below 20 if we do get that high. But we'll see. That's to be seen.
So I like the analysis. I do agree with you that the psychological thing is just a part of like everything with trading is human psychology, right? And it shows that in patterns and how people react to certain things. So Face, you've been really successful over the years with trading, right? You're known for that. You do some big live trades. I guess my question would be: a lot of people want to be able to do that with the market as it is right now. Can you give maybe an example or examples of some trading strategies that you're using right now that maybe people could, we're not here to give financial advice. Let me be clear with everybody. There's no financial advice going on here. No financial advisors on the panel. But maybe just some trading strategies, Face, that you either are using right this second or have used traditionally that have done really well for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's important is number one, we say getting to know the environment, specifically, what type of trades, what type of time frames. Like lately, to me, it's been a small time frame environment where maybe you're not in a trade for more than a day. Maybe it's a couple hours.
Okay.
And you always want to have a larger time frame backing you up on a smaller time frame. If the 12-hour or the 6-hour are showing you one direction confidently, then you want to be looking at the hour and the 30-minute for that entry in that same direction. I
so that if something takes off, let me just clarify what you're saying. You're saying that if something takes off, or do you already have the longer position that you said is confident, and then you go shorter time frame? Which way are you saying that?
Well, you start with your larger time frames and you work your way in, just like when you learn to be an assassin. I like it. The first thing you learn is the sniper rifle. The last thing you learn is hand-to-hand combat with your thumb. You know what I'm saying?
Touche.
And so that's pretty much it. That's what I do. I don't know. What do you do, Evan?
Yeah, there's always, that's like one of the biggest things. I mean, there's always, my kind of secret is 1/16. So if I'm looking at the 15-minute, the 4-hour is 16 times that. So the bigger time frame is the 4-hour, the smaller one is the 15-minute. I mean, the most important thing I could tell anybody, about trading is it's all about risk management. You could have the best strategy in the world. If you're gambling with it and blowing it and risking your whole account, you're going to get blown out. Yeah. And there's people that make money that aren't even the best analysts. They're just using really good risk management. I mean, you can kind of just go with chase the trend a lot of times, especially uptrend or downtrend, use good risk management. And at the end of the month, your account could still be, even if you're like probably not a good analyst at all, your account would probably still be positive in the single digits.
If you're smart about setting a stop and
Yeah,
actually
that's the
being on top of it.
most important thing. And I think that's even for like long-term investing, that's important too, because the secret too is even if you're just buying Bitcoin on spot, you got to like calculate, if the worst case scenario happens, if some crazy bad scenario happens, Bitcoin goes to 10K or whatever, calculate how much you're going to lose if that happens. How much are you willing, to lose? And you got to diversify, and, it depends how much risk you want to take, obviously. But I think that's the most important thing there. I think in terms of trading, find a strategy that works, take that strategy and be very robotic about it. Keep following that strategy, use good risk management. If it's a strategy that works, it's a succeeding strategy. Even if it's a strategy, it doesn't even work 50% of the time, and you could just let the winners ride, you potentially could still be profitable on it. That's why people with good risk management and who know what they're doing, they may not be the best analysts. They may be just simple analysts. They could still make some money with it potentially, and don't have unrealistic expectations. The most profitable, most successful traders, they're more stoic about it. They're making a certain amount, every month or every few months. So it takes time, but it's a slow, gradual process.
Yeah, I think the thing that I've learned the hard way with trading was being emotional and effectively, like you were saying, more gambling on which way the markets were running versus like actually analyzing it, playing it out, setting that tight stop. It was like, I'm willing to lose this much. Let's see what happens. Let's throw the spaghetti against the wall and see if it sticks. And that's a horrible idea for everybody. That is financial advice. Don't freaking do that. I'm telling you, it's not. It doesn't work. It's not good. That's part of the reason that I love Market Cipher too. It gives me the ability when I am trading to be able to see some trends in a different format than I actually see them without it there. And it tells me, okay, where's the money flowing in?
In a leading way. It's fucking awesome.
What'd you say?
In a leading fashion, before it happens. That's no other indicator is able to do that. Like for real. That's why Market Cipher is so badass. It's different. When you know the future, it still doesn't mean it's necessarily easy to stick your neck out there and shout it out to the world, because you get him, just like when people thought the world was square,
I think they thought it was flat. But
I'm sure some people thought it was square.
we might still there might still be some good arguments to that.
I was talking about the Aztecs.
So let's talk about that. We're talking about risk management. The meme coin stuff has been nuts. I'm gonna pull this up real quick. Hold on a second. Let me pull this. Where did it go? Right here. There we go. So you alluded to it earlier. Actually, you flat out talked about it earlier. Here we go. Everybody's probably familiar with this if you're in crypto right now. Pepe coin, right? So it says Pepe jumped 75%, setting new all-time highs. Meme coin soar. I'm not going to get into this article. I just wanted to pull up just to show the little Pepe guy there. Let me pull this off. Risk management.
Man, I could have had a good entry on Pepe when I was in Denver. I saw, I was on my laptop. I'm like, damn, I should long this. And it's when it dipped to hang on, let me really fast. Okay. It's when it had its little dip down to 0.85252. And I was like, man, I should get me some of this stupid Pepe. And I'm the stupid one now.
It's not.
No, it wasn't. I was wrong. It was when it went down to 61989. And
irregardless, and this is what I wanted to kind of ask you guys: do you have some money that you set to the side to effectively play with meme coins and or gamble? I got to tell you, I have been very vocal about staying away from them. I did a 110x on dogecoin at one point, which was great, but it was with a small amount of money. I had some dust left over, and I just, whatever. It was inconsequential. But for the most part, I've stayed away from them. I will say I got some intel from somebody recently on something that's about to come out. Yes, I'm going to step up to the table, and yes, I'm going to try to play the game. But I've been burnt before. So my question is for both of you, do you guys keep money to the side? And I want to say thank you to Lolo. Lolo just gave us a $19.99 super chat. Lolo, we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lolo.
Yeah, we
appreciate the support.
What's
up, Wastegate? Sorry I missed you guys in Denver.
Yeah, I know that's some of your people, so I appreciate that. So do you play with the meme coins? Do you have money set aside that you're like, hey, this is my gambling money, or this is my meme coin money? Is that something that you both do?
I ain't
I
got time for that shit.
Okay, so you don't
yeah.
do it, Face. You just, I mean, you saw Pepe though, so you
Yeah,
looked at it, you
I
thought
saw
about
it.
it.
I mean, I don't, I'm not a, I don't have a trade journal. I don't have a goal whiteboard. I don't have a vision board. I don't stick medals up my ass when I go to the airport to straighten out my spiritual spine. But I throw money around. If I see it, I like it, I want some, I'll get it. That's pretty much it.
Okay, Evan.
No, not too much, really. It's been a while. I mean, usually the thing with these is obviously with Pepe, you got to get in when you kind of first hear about it,
Mm-hmm.
which was a few weeks ago, like Face was saying, when he was in Denver. I saw it then too. I was just like, everybody, it's starting to talk about it. It could have went up. I'm sure there's other, an alternate reality where it didn't. There was a lot of people trying to go with Chad coin, Wojak coin. There were a few others they were trying to pump. Obviously, those didn't go anywhere, I don't believe. So I just don't think it's worth it. I think you're better off to mess around with. I mean, there's a lot of other altcoins that had nice runs up in this mini bull market, at least in the first 4 or 5 months of this year, such as Render. There's Stacks, I believe, a few under, or was it Slack or something like that. A few other ones with decent fundamentals. I'd rather mess around with those a little bit more. It's just not my cup of tea, really, with the meme coins. It's fun on Twitter. Everybody talks about it. Like I said, could be wrong. Everybody's talking about Pepe. Usually that means, kind of the time is to get out is now. But
I agree. A great example
I don't
would
know
be
about that. There's still time, just like
yeah.
I don't know, maybe when
But
you
you
start
don't.
to
But you
hear it
don't
at the
know,
dinner
right?
table,
Yeah.
when you hear it at the dinner table, then you got to be careful. So I think it maybe still has some time. I don't fucking know.
That's a really good point. But with the meme coins though, overall, Evan, you're right, because people, once everybody knows about it and everybody's dumping money, and the big hitters, the people have been in that have made, they're using you as exit liquidity. It's the
we're not in like a confirmed bull run, to my knowledge.
Hell no.
Like if we're in a confirmed bull run, then it's got more time. But right now, shit's a little shaky. So yeah, I haven't got me any PP. So
I remember what I saw on Twitter when SHIB went to the moon, when Doge went to the moon. Like they went higher than they were when everybody started talking about them, but it wasn't that much, man. It wasn't that much. It's only like another 30% or something.
And you gotta sell. Like you gotta get out of that shit.
Oh, you do. You do for sure.
Like people don't. And you're gonna miss some big fucking gains, and then if you stay in, you're gonna miss them too. So.
I have digitally verifiable proof that I called the top within 8 hours. Now I'm gonna be straightforward with this. It was lucky, but I called the top of Shiba on a TikTok, right? Literally within 8 hours of the absolute top of Shiba. It just happened to be when I put the video out and I was talking trash about Shiba. Anyway, but ultimately, the reality is exactly what Face just said. If you are going to play with the meme coins, you need to set a target. You need to be willing to lose the money, right? We're not here to give financial advice, but you need to be willing to lose the money, all of it, I believe, if you're going to play with them, because it happens and they rug and all sorts of wildness. So be prepared to lose all of it, but then set a real target, because if you don't, greed will take over. And I have been victim to this as well. I've learned a lot of hard lessons in crypto. Crypto's been very good to me and my family, but at the same time, I've learned some really hard lessons, some lessons that, you don't exactly share with the wife. You know what I'm saying? Because she hears the number and here's what happened, and she thinks about all the things that she could have done with that extra,
I definitely say chop that shit up. I think it's harder. What people think that, so many people think that you either have to, it's all or nothing. You got to buy it all at once.
Change your life all at once. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's like, man, chop it up. Have like 5 different exits. Like, or
that's a good point.
Buy more. Like you double down when the shit's going up. If you're trading leverage, you don't start at 40x like an asshole. You start small, and as the trade goes your way, and it looks like it's going more that way, then you can increase your risk because you have that cushion. Like, have some cushion.
It's such simple ideas, but they absolutely make sense. And Face, you've been trading for a long time, so I definitely put merit to what you're saying. I agree for sure. All right, so let's kind of round it out. The people come, they want to look at the charts. We talk about the overall market. We have some fun with some meme coins today. Let's talk about, just because I know, Face, you don't love doing price predictions. So I'm not going to ask you a price prediction. I'm just going to give you both a high and a low. And I want to know whether you think these barriers can be breached within the same year. Can we breach 50K and can we breach 15K? And if not both of them, tell me which one you think we're more likely to breach. Evan.
Oh, man. I would probably have to lean more to the 15K breach potentially for this year, just based on history, what we saw in 2019. If we do breach 50K, oh man, that's going to be, I'm going to be a very wealthy man, but it's going to feel weird, that happening that quickly this year. You're probably going to see a lot of more bank failures. You're probably going to see the US dollar really losing, like officially losing world reserve currency status, most likely, if that does happen. So I would say more likely a double bottom towards the end of the year, similar to what we saw in late 2019, early 2020 with the pandemic drop. I think that's a little bit more likely in my view.
Okay. Face, what are you thinking, brother?
Sorry, I just actually just got a phone call from Ben Rothwell, and I was like, "Yo, bro, I'm on a fucking thing. Can I hit you back?" So shout out to Ben Rothwell, heavyweight. We also sponsored him. He sent me a picture of him with the market cipher shirt. He's holding up a bunch of $100 bills. He's got a black guy, and he's all happy and shit.
I love it.
What was the question?
I was just asking. I know you don't like to do price predictions, so I'm going to give you
I hate doing price
No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Can we breach 50K and 15K in the same year? And if not, which one of those are we more likely to breach?
Yeah, totally possible. Totally possible.
Okay.
Man, maybe both won't happen. I don't know.
But I mean, which one would you say is more likely to happen this year? Breaching below 15 or above 50?
Man, I want to say 15 because I feel like 40K is like the top if we were to go up and then come back down to our low and then go up on another bull run. Like in 2000, that's just going off of 2019. A lot of times we kind of get stuck on a chart, just the previous past, but we actually don't really look at what's even before that. Bitcoin has had runs where it doesn't revisit like that, doesn't have a fake out. And so
you're thinking 15. It would be more likely,
I guess.
I love being the contrarian, but I'm not going to be on this one. I've been talking about this for this whole year and into last year. I still think we have a big dump coming. I talk about it from macroeconomic factors. I think that with all of the things setting up, there's some great things that have happened, i.e. some of the banking stuff has actually pushed people to flee towards Bitcoin, which is a beautiful thing. But in a macro sense, just like when Face was saying that Jamie Dimon needs to tell you that everything's going to be okay, you don't win with all risk on assets. You don't want our infrastructure freaking crumbling, right? And it feels and looks as if some of that is happening. And so because of that, because of the possibility of, instability, not possibility, because of the instability in a lot of other countries right now, not just in financials, but also, just tensions, we'll say, between countries, without getting us in trouble on here. I still believe that we have a big dump. So I'm going to agree with that. And hope it doesn't happen too fast, or it happens really fast and then we get that huge run up for next year's bull run, baby. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for coming on. Oh, I do want to say, sorry, I actually forgot to throw this up here. I'm going to get in trouble, guys. This episode was sponsored by my boy Anthony Price at Price CPA. I know it's after tax season, but a lot of people either haven't done it or paying a late fee or whatever. If you're in crypto and you're anything like these two gentlemen that trade all the time, especially, save yourself the headache for one, and for two, save yourself a boatload of money. Get somebody that knows crypto. Anthony Price was able to save myself and Crusader a lot of money just because he understood the crypto game. So if you're looking to get some taxes done, that link is down below. Face, Evan, I look forward to seeing you guys both in Miami, right? You're both going to be there?
Yep.
Dope. We got Bitcoin Miami coming up. If you guys want to get a 10% off, we've got a link down below the stream as well. We'd love to meet you guys. If you do see us, make sure to come up and say hi. You're going to talk to the same people that you're seeing right now. So we love you, each and every one of you. I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Just remember to question everything, trust nothing. And until next time, hodl like it's hot. We will see you soon.
Thanks so much. Always great to be on.